Hello and welcome to Maximal Fire. I'm Alex and today we are going to be unboxing the hotly anticipated Legions Imperialis. So here we have it, guys. Legions Imperialis is finally here and I finally managed to get my hands on a boxed copy of this. I thought I would do a very quick unboxing for you today so you can share in my excitement as we delve into the mountain of plastic. If you've been following the channel, you'll realise that we've been looking forward to this for a long time now, since August. It feels like a long wait, but really good to have our hands on the book. So I've already cut the tape around the sides to let me get into this, but otherwise this is first impressions. Let's see what's inside. So the first thing we see here is probably going to strike terror into the hearts of any child of the 90s who witnessed firsthand the wrath of the red whippy stick. These went out of favour for a long time with GW, possibly due to minor assaults, but they seem to be back in favour now. And then next up we've got our standard templates. So anybody who's played any of the Games Workshop game will be familiar with these. You've probably got tons of these already. 3-inch blast marker, 5-inch blast marker, and a standard flamer template. So even though the size of the models have gotten a lot smaller, the templates have remained the same. Then onto the sprues. So where shall we start? Let's start first up with this one. This is the Predator sprue for the Adeptus Astartes. You get 3 of these in the box, and these are really lovely models. I've not had the pleasure of getting my hands on any of these yet, but I'm really looking forward to putting these together. Let's continue with some tanks. This is the Malcador. You get 2 of these in the box set for the Solar Auxilia. Again, really nice looking kits. Really looking forward to getting my hands and glue onto some of these. The next up, we've got 2 identical sprues of Solar Auxilia. On here you've got the Ogrins, you've got the Heavy Sentinels, and of course you've got the Solar Auxilia Infantry. They are really small. I knew they were going to be small, but yeah, until you get them in your hands you don't realise quite how tiny they are. And the actual quality of the casts, although there's been some problems, still very nice. And then next up we have got the Leman Russ to round out the Solar Auxilia. So 4 of these in the box, and what's really nice to see is that you can fit them all out with battle cannons, or you've also got the option of kitting them out with 4 Vanquisher cannons as well, so you can mix and match or have them all the same. Next up, the Adeptus Astartes Infantry sprue. So again, 2 identical sprues. And you get 4 Contemptors on here, Contemptor Dreads, you get Terminators, you get heavy weapons squads, plasma squads, and also the standard bolters as well as the HQs. So again, quality of sculpt, really nice. Before we move on to the Warhound, let's have a look at the last tank. So these are the Sakarans, and you can, there's 2 of these that come in the box. You can either be outfitted, both of them, with the auto cannons or with the plasma arrays. I'm going to be personally trying to see if there's any way that I can magnetize those weapons. Very nice. Looking forward to getting a few more of these in my force when they're available. And then last but not least we have the trusty Warhound Titan. So these first 2 sprues here are identical to anybody who's played AT. No changes there, obviously. The big change is on this one. This is the new weapon sprue, including a lot of weapons which have come from Forge World. You've got the Shudder and Swarmer missiles, you've got the Volkite, you've got the Incisor Pattern Melter Lance, and you've also got the Natrix Shock Lance. and the Ursus Claw. So great to see these come to plastic, where previously they were only sold separately on Forge World in resin. Any AT fan's going to be a fan of this sprue. Then we've got the dividing piece of paper, or card rather, Legions Imperialis. And on the back, we've got just some art from all of the art boxes released at launch. Next up is the rulebook. Big old chunky tome. We're going to have a look at this properly at the end of the video, so I'm going to put this aside for now and come back to it, and we'll look into the rest of the box. So this is a card sleeve, and apparently this contains the, you probably can't read on the screen, but the tokens. So I'm going to unseal this quickly now and take a look at what's inside. Feels quite thick, firstly. Let's have a look. Okay, so the reason that it's quite thick is because it has got, as I can see in the back of this, that comes with the quick reference sheets as well. So 2 quick reference sheets, which I'm sure will have a lot of use as you play, and then you've got the tokens. Now, quite thin. Quite disappointing. I know some people have reported on this, but I can reiterate, this is really thin card. This is not board game quality card tokens. I can see these wearing out very, very quickly, especially if they're being picked up and thumbed a lot. Hopefully they'll bring out some kind of alternative, maybe some plastics, but I'm sure all the third-party companies will look at them as well. Look how thin this is. If you're constantly fingering this, these are going to get curled and bent and ruined. Then we've got the instructions guide. Standard layout to any Games Workshop instructions guides. Tells you how to put together everything in the box. Nice and clear, nice and laid out. Amazing how many pieces there are on such tiny models. And some nice artwork on the back. Then we have our transfers. Quite a lot of transfers on this particular sheet. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Solar Auxilia transfers. At the top you can take a pick from. Then you've got the Adeptus Astartes transfers, you've got the Death Guards, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands and Sons of Horus. Up in the top corner here you've also got the banner transfers for all of the Adeptus Astartes legions, and I think, I think these are also for the Solar Auxilia as well. And then the standard Titan symbols on the bottom, and then some Roman numerals and numbers and stuff in the middle here in white and black, so I guess for your tank markings. Nice to have options. Let's take out the last divider and start looking at what is under with the bases. So a big old bag of 28mm I think bases. Quite a few different varieties here. This, if you can see on the camera, they are about half the size of a regular base. We knew these were going to be quite thin. How easy these are going to be to pick up off the ground, I'm not sure. And then we have the 2 new 80mm Warhound bases, which the new Titan's going to go on. If I can pick this up. Right, there we go. Okay, so 2 identical bases that you get in the box. Whether they'll add more to this range in the future, I'm not sure, but as you can see at the moment, these are identical. And then the last thing in the box, of course, is a big old trusty bag of dice. Nice artwork on the back of the box, which you've probably seen already on the Warhammer community articles. Okay, so let's have a proper look back at the book again. So it's hardback, quite thick, nice big old hefty tome. Standard stuff inside like galaxy maps, and then there's a photocopyable page for the tokens. I guess when they wear out you've got options to then photocopy them and put them on thicker card. Lots of nice full colour pages or coloured inserts, galaxy maps, bit of timeline stuff, how to lay out boards, and then obviously into the main rulebook, which is quite what a little bit what we've come to expect from games like Horus Heresy and also Adeptus Titanicus. Similar kind of style, similar kind of feel to it. This page in particular I think is going to be of interest to anybody from the AT community. Good old Titans. So there's too much in here for us to kind of go through every single page, so I'm just going to have a quick flick and see if I can find some interesting stuff. Oh yeah, some deployments, missions, some city types, and then yes, the force organisation charts. So nice full colour pages of the detachments. So this one's the Demi Company and the Garrison Force for Adeptus Astartes. Really nice artwork, and I really like how this is kind of feels very similar to the old Imperial Armour pages that you used to get in the Forge World books. And then here we have the force organisation charts using the icons rather than the actual models. It's quite nice having this available here on these pages and also previously in the full colour, so you can kind of see how those icons tie back to the individual models. I really like those pages. So onto the different types of detachments with all of their rules. And then here we have some of the Legions special rules. These are my boys, the 7th Legion, the Imperial Fists. And we've also got, obviously we've skimmed past like the Dark Angels and Space Wolves and the other ones. Really looking forward to painting some of these bad boys up. So here's my original first love as well, the Blood Angels. Very tempted to do those as well, but not this time. Doing something different. World Eaters, Iron Hands, Death Guards, Ultramarines, and these are the bad boys, which or the very bad boys, which Johnny Eves is going to be doing. So you'll see these matchups soon on our channel. Really nicely well put together, bright, colourful pages. Really like the kind of aesthetic, how they've laid out these detachments. Big nostalgia vibe, not only for it being epic, but also it being like the old Forge World books. So yeah, that's it. Legions Imperialis. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you getting this? Have you got this? Or are you waiting? So there you have it, guys. That was our first look at the starter box of Legions Imperialis by Games Workshop. Overall, pretty impressed. I think that the quality of the models is really good. The quality of the book, I think, is really nice as well. I know some people have kind of said that it's not as good as things like 40k, but I think it's catering for a slightly different audience. It's certainly on par and in line with what we've seen in Horus Heresy and also AT. So really like the book, really like some of the pages, some beautiful artwork in there, some beautiful graphics as well. So very impressed with that. Obviously the biggest downer for me, I think, as it came across in the video, is the tokens are not good. They are up there, or rather, like let's be honest, there are cheap board games which can provide better cardboard punchable tokens than have been provided in this box set. Sadly, they're not going to last long. You're going to pick them up a few times and they're going to start to get bent, and they're going to start to peel. Like, I think that there needs to be some alternative there provided. Hopefully Games Workshop will provide something different, like some plastic tokens maybe, but if they don't, then I'm sure 3D printing companies like Battle Bling will be all over it, providing replacement tokens as quickly as possible. The problems that I've heard and seen online with regards to the spaces in between the bolters and the armor, yes, it's there, but I mean, we're talking about models which are this big, and unless you really look at them, you're not going to notice, and it's certainly nowhere near as bad as it's made out to be by sticking a zoom lens on a model and then posting a massive photo up on Facebook. Could they have done better? Maybe, they could have made them multi-part or something, but then, I mean, I don't personally want to be putting together hundreds of multi-part models, but I think they're fine. You're going to be looking at these things largely from 2 feet away, and so there really isn't going to be, it's not going to impact your game at the end of the day. I'm personally very much looking forward to getting my teeth into this, and so is Johnny and the rest of our crew. We are going to be eating this up over the next couple of weeks. So as soon as we've had a chance to actually play the game, we will come back and give you our review as soon as possible. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this was useful. Please remember to like and subscribe, leave your comments in the comments section, and always remember to go big, go loud, and go maximal.